Welcome to our 24th and final week of vocabulary study this year. If you think about it, we have studied 125 words this year. Most of them were probably new to you. Some of you may have been familiar with a few of them. I hope going forward that you're able to use these in your writing, as I've witnessed in some of the things you've written in class, that you will be able to use them in conversation when appropriate, and that certainly when you read and you stumble upon these words, you will know what they mean and remember what they mean. We will have a vocabulary quiz at the end of the week. Actually, the quiz is going to be on Thursday this week on weeks 23 and 24, and there is homework at the end of this video. This week's words are mixed as far as parts of speech go, and they are just a collection of fun but useful words. They are not SAT words, however. So let's go ahead and get started. Our first word is bamboozle, a verb. And someone who bamboozles someone else is deceiving them or tricking them, often through the use of flattery. Generally, people who are considered bamboozlers are ones that might try to bilk money out of people or just kind of pull the wool over their head and get the best of them through trickery. When I think of bamboozlers, I think of cab drivers in foreign cities. They're notorious for bamboozling their riders into paying much more than they should. The riders are already confused by the language difference and they're jet lagged, the different currency, so they're easily tricked. And trust me, this happened to me once in Rome. I'll have to tell you the story. Next, our word is flabbergast, also a verb. You'll often hear this with the ed at the end. I was flabbergasted. And to be flabbergasted is to be overcome with surprise or bewilderment, to be astounded by something. So something's really got to kind of shock you for you to be flabbergasted. Here, little Emma was flabbergasted when her family threw her a surprise party for her 8th birthday. Our next word is persnickety, an adjective. And someone who is persnickety is very fussy, picky, and quite particular about the way things are. Someone who's a real neatnik, has to have things in just the right place, can be considered persnickety. Someone who's very picky about their food is also persnickety. You know, the colors can't be mixed or the food can't touch another kind of food, that kind of thing. Here is a very organized closet. Cora was quite persnickety about having her closet perfectly organized and color coordinated. Next, we have lackadaisical. You will hear people mispronounce this upon occasion when they say lackadaisical. It is lackadaisical. And I'm pretty sure you've heard Mr. Murray use this word. I think he likes this one. Someone with a lackadaisical attitude is someone who expresses little interest in what they're doing. They don't have a whole lot of vigor or motivation or determination. They're kind of lazy and unambitious. So if a teacher said to you, oh, this was a real lackadaisical effort on your part, basically what they're telling you is you did not put forth the kind of effort that you're probably expected to put forth. You're kind of lazy. As a result of her lackadaisical work habits, like propping her feet up on the copier and reading a magazine, Jenna was fired. Yes, being lackadaisical is not a good thing in the workplace or in school. Next, cantankerous, an adjective. Someone who is cantankerous is disagreeable, grouchy, grumpy, sometimes in a bad mood. So they kind of just grump around all the time. Someone who is cantankerous. Skittles the cat became cantankerous when his owner thought it would be cool to get another cat. He scowled and grumbled when he learned he'd have to share with another feline. So grumpy face there as well. Discombobulate. Discombobulate means to confuse or bewilder or be confused or bewilder, kind of upset the balance of things, or to frustrate. Um, let's say, for example, you go to your locker and you get out your stuff for classes and you come into class and you just realize that you got all the wrong stuff, and you might say to your teacher, "Oh, Miss Delaney, I got all the wrong stuff. I just feel really discombobulated today," meaning that you're just kind of confused, bewildered, messed up. It's not a good day. Miss Teen South Carolina, Caitlin Upton, seems to be discombobulated by a simple question at the Miss Teen America pageant contest. Now, of course, you're going to have to go look at this video if you're interested in seeing what the poster child of discombobulated means. The URL is at the top here in small writing. You could also go to YouTube and simply search Miss Teen South Carolina, and the first video that pops up will be the segment with this young lady being asked a question by um, by one of the pageant hosts, and it's pretty funny. Okay, that's it for our words this week. Let's move on to the homework. Because these are silly words and fun words, I thought I would introduce to you a term when it relates to vocabulary called a portmanteau. Portmanteau. And a portmanteau is a word, and the definition is here, that is created by combining the sound or parts of two other words and the meanings of two other words, so that it combines to make a new word, and that new word has its own singular meaning. I'm going to give you some examples on the slide that follows, and you will be quite familiar with probably all of these words. For example, a Labrador and a poodle is a Labradoodle. Some of you might even have one of those kinds of dogs. So they blended those words together, and the meaning of that word is the combination of those two dogs. Emotion and icon is a word very familiar to you, emoticon. Information and commercial, infomercial. iPod and broadcast, a podcast. Plastic and leather is pleather. Looks like leather. People might think it's leather, but it's actually plastic. Jeans and shorts, jorts, that was a new one to me a couple years ago. And one that I hear some of you use, gigantic and enormous. So the meaning of the new word is the combination of meanings of the two original words, and then you use parts of those two original words to create the new word. So this is what you're going to do this week. You'll create a portmanteau for each of this week's words by combining part of each of the word with another word. Now, it doesn't have to be one of our vocab words. Any word you want to combine with any of these 6 vocabulary words is perfectly fine. So what you'll do is you'll create the word and write it. You'll write the new definition, and you'll draw a picture for each. And this assignment is meant to, think deeply and creatively about these words and try to put them with another word to kind of make it even funnier than it already is. So have fun with it. And I imagine that this is something that we will ultimately share in class on Wednesday when this assignment is due. Have a great evening.